Good morning. Who's here? Hey, G. What's up? Evangeline. What's up? Evan. What's up? Jay. What's up? Titan. What's up? I always forget the other dog's name. Sad. Maybe, I don't know. Sorry, other dog. My name is Mike. Good morning. We're going to make a puppet this morning, and this one is really fun. It's called a Limberjack. But before I start, a little shout out to Joanne and Mavis and Rose. I heard that you guys watched the last puppet making workshop, how to make a puppet out of paper, and you made a puppet out of paper. Good job. I hope you share the photos of your puppets with us. That'd be awesome. Yeah, so thanks for watching. This puppet that we're going to make today is one of my favorite kinds of puppets in the world because it's not just a puppet. It's also a musical instrument. It's called a limberjack. And this is a very simple one that I made. It dances, but also it's like having a little drum or something to make a rhythm with. Usually a puppet like this you would use with music, right? So you play, someone has playing the fiddle, or you have fiddle music playing, and then you have one of these dancing along next to the music. They use these kind of puppets a lot in the eastern part of Canada and Quebec. I think they go way back in time and history. These are old style puppets. Usually, just to show you how you usually do it, usually you sit on like a board. You get a board of some kind. This is just a piece of cardboard, but usually they're made out of wood, and you'd use a piece of wood, and you'd sit on the piece of wood and put the piece of wood between your legs and put the puppet in front of you, and then you'd hit the board and the puppet would wiggle and dance, right? So I can't sit on this table and show you, but I got some books here, and I'm just going to kind of show you how you do it. So you put the board, pretend this book is a chair, and then you put the board on the chair, and then this book is like your bum. You put this one on top of the board, and then put the puppet on there, and you're sitting there, and you do this. Right? That's how you do a limberjack, it's called. So, let's make one. This one that I made is made out of straws and string and cardboard and buttons. I used buttons for the feet. Now, if you don't have buttons, you could use something that's kind of heavy, like a coin, and you could tape it down there or whatever. The important thing is you have something on the bottom on the feet that's a little bit heavy and that makes some noise. Right? So, I have buttons, so I'm going to use buttons. But you could, like I said, you could use a coin, or you could make the feet out of cardboard and then tape a coin to the bottom of it, or a washer, or a nut, or something like that. Anything metal, a rock, probably tiny rocks, if you put them on the bottom. But these are what we're going to use today. We're going to use these buttons. And straws. So these are just drinking straws, which are what we're going to use. So you cut these basically in 3 sections. So I made the legs of the puppet out of 2/3 of the straw, and then 1/3 for the arm. And so it doesn't have to be exact, but you just cut it, each straw, in 3 parts. That's the first thing to do, is cut the straw in 3 parts. Try to make all your sections even-ish. And then what you're going to do is you're going to get a shoelace or some kind of string. I'm going to use a shoelace today, because a shoelace is easy to push. Hopefully it's easy to push through the straws. I'm trying to read the comments, but I can't really read the comments because I'm so far away. So you push the straw, you push the shoelace through the straw, the first piece of straw, then you push it through the second piece of straw, and then you push Oops, I used the wrong one, I think. Wait, am I missing one? Yeah. Okay. You push 4 pieces of straw onto the shoelace, basically. It's like you're making a necklace or something like that. So you thread those all on there. If you don't have a shoelace, like this one, I didn't use a shoelace. I used some thread, and I used a needle to thread through the straw. But then I thought afterwards maybe a shoelace is better. So then once I've done that, these buttons I think luckily have big holes, so I can put the shoelace right through the holes, and then I just tie a little knot in the end. On one end, and there we go. That's one leg. Cut off the extra. Yeah, these scissors are no good. Cut the extra off. There's one leg. Now leave a little bit of space and then move this leg along so it's like here. Leave some space there because you're going to attach that part to the bottom, to the body of the thing. And then put the other button on the other leg. And you thread it through and then back through. I didn't have 2 buttons that match, but it doesn't really matter. So there you go, that's what it's going to look like. So before you tie the second leg, make sure you have a little bit of room in between the two to attach the body. Okay? And then tie this one like that and like that. Don't make it too tight, all of this. Make it a bit loose because you want your puppet to be really loose and move around a lot. There's the legs. Really, it's mostly about the legs on these puppets. Traditional Limberjacks sometimes have arms that swing around, so that when it's dancing, the arms are like going like crazy all over the place. And that's something you can do if you want, but I thought this was good. These arms have their own kind of movement, right? They just go up and down. So it doesn't matter too much. You should, depending on how much shoelace you use, you might have a little bit of extra shoelace, and then keep that because you're going to use it for the arms. But for now, let's make the body for this puppet. So I just got a rectangle of paper to make the body. So you cut yourself a rectangle like that. But it could be anything. It could be a round body or a square or anything, triangle. And then you want to attach the legs onto the bottom of the body. So I'm just going to get my glue gun and I'm going to put a strip of glue along the back there and glue those legs onto the bottom of the rectangle. Easy. You could just tape it on if you want. And make sure they're kind of centered a bit. Alright, good. There's the legs. Let that dry a little bit and then work on the arms. So I'm going to get that other piece of, look, a mustache.
Hello there, I am a mustache. My mustache fell right from my face.
Put the shoelace, this little piece of shoelace that you still have left over, if it's long enough, thread it through the other 2 pieces of straw that you left over, and these are going to become the arms for the puppet. Alright. And again, leave space in between the 2 pieces of straw. That's where the body's going to go. And you're going to attach that onto the back of the thing. You don't need the little nub. What's this thing called on the end of a shoelace? Does anybody know? Put it in the comments. What's that? Nobody knows what that's called. It's the end of a shoelace, the plastic piece. We don't need that, so I'm going to throw that out. And then probably before you attach the arms to the body, make hands for the arms. And you can just do that using construction paper or cardboard or whatever you want. So I'm just going to get some green construction paper, make some hands, fold it over so my hands look the same. And I'm going to cut out, no, I don't like that. I'm going to cut out a couple of hands. Make the fingers really like wide so that it looks like the puppet's really dancing. It's a dancing puppet, this kind of puppet. Most puppets you do inside of a puppet stage or something like that, but this kind of puppet doesn't need a stage. Better, well, it doesn't need a booth, like a booth that you go inside of. This puppet has that board that I showed you at the beginning. That's its stage. It's all about dancing with this puppet. Alright, so put a little glue on the ends of the shoelace arms. And then glue the hands on there. Alright, there we go. And then glue the arms to the body. So again, like I did with the legs, on the back of the cardboard, but at the top this time, I just glue the arms right across. Make sure it's kind of centered. There we go. This one's going to have floppier arms, you can tell. This shoelace that I used on this one was a little bit thicker, so the arms stick out. This one's going to have hanging down arms, which means probably when we puppeteer it, it's probably going to have, it's going to look different. It's going to look a bit different than the other one. So that's good. You don't want your puppets all looking exactly the same. Okay. So there we go. Now we need a head for the puppet. So that's easy. Get another piece of cardboard and cut out a head. Now, this morning I had a great idea. I was like, I want to make a moose. So first, I'm going to make, somewhere in my life, I've seen one of these Limberjacks and it was a moose. And it looks good because it has the big antlers. And it looks like when's the last time you saw a dancing moose, right? Probably, maybe never. Unless it was a Limberjack moose, a puppet moose. Anyway, we're close to Canada Day here. We're practically in Canada, at Canada Day. Tomorrow is Canada Day, and what's more Canadian than a moose? Nothing. Nothing except maybe beavers is more Canadian. So I just made a head with a neck, right? I'm going to attach that onto the puppet, onto the top, above the shoulders, where everybody's head, most people's head goes. Okay. There, that's the head, and now I'm going to make the antlers. So, to make antlers, let's get some more construction paper. Let's just use green. Or let's use red for Canada. Let's make a Canadian moose with red antlers. So, I'm going to fold this in half, and then cut, oops, these scissors are better for paper. I'm going to cut out antlers, bigger than you would anticipate them to be. These antlers are going to be big on this moose. There we go, look at those antlers. There we go, so I'm going to attach those to the back of its head. Moose. That's going to be a moose. And then draw a little face on there with your marker. Big eyes. Or little eyes, whatever you feel like. And then it's a moose, so it needs a snout, I guess. There we go. One dancing moose. Great. Now one more thing to do. You can see this puppet. You need a little stick on the back just to hold the puppet. You need to hold it out straight from your body. So that's pretty easy to do. You just get whatever kind of stick you can find. I happen to have these skinny popsicle sticks. Perfect for this. And you could just stick it. You could make a slit and stick it right through the thing, right through its chest. But what I did with this one is I made little brackets. And I'll show you. I cut a strip of cardboard, just about like that. Cut it in half, like that. And I took each piece and I folded that in half. So I have two L's. like that. And then I'm going to attach those to the end of the popsicle stick on either side. And that will make a flat surface at the end of the popsicle stick that I can stick onto the back of the Limberjack. There, that's what it looks like. Looks like a T kind of. See that? And then I put a bit of glue on the back of the puppet. Right below the shoulders, right below the, oh, these are a bit long, so I gotta trim off some. Right below the shoulders, I put this on there. You could put it lower, and if you put it lower, you can get a little bit of spin. Like the puppet, sometimes you make them like do that, right? And so if you put it more towards the center, you might get a better spin on the puppet. You can play around with it. Make several of these, right? Make each one a bit different. So there we go. That moose. Yeah, he's ready to dance. Look at that. Look at that left leg. He's ready to go. So now, like I showed you before, you get your board. So just use a piece of cardboard for this, if you want. This is just corrugated cardboard, which is a stiff kind of cardboard. But if you have a piece of wood, that would work too. And then I would make it longer than this. I would make it about double the length of this if you can, because you really want to do this by sitting in a chair or on a stool, right? But we can't do that here, so I'm just going to show you with this book again. Pretend this is the chair, right? And then I put the board there and I sit on there. But because I want that's because I want to use both hands for this. So you sit, that's my bum. I'm sitting on this now. And then I'm going to just use my one hand, flick this. And then I'm going to get my moose, put his feet or her feet on the board and start flicking, right? And then, if you know one of your friends who's a fiddle player, get them over and they play the fiddle next to you. And then get your other friend who's a drummer and get them over and they play the drums. And then you have a band, right? You're on the Limberjack. And you're the manager of the band. And then I would play some fiddle music for you, but I don't think I have any. But you get the idea. This puppet, the more you get into it, you start to figure out what it'll do. Right? There we go. Okay, that's it. That's how you make a Limberjack puppet. Make a moose, make a beaver, make just like a person, and have fun. Thanks for watching the video, everybody. Don't forget to like the video, share the video, and so that everybody can see this. All right, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next time. Bye.